There are a lot of things in life that are incredibly stupid. One of them is outrage culture. And we'll be talking quite a bit about that today. Plus, we get reviews of, well, from me, Devil May Cry 5. And Hatman will be discussing a show I talked about a few weeks ago, The Sopranos. Let's get into it. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as The Hatman.
Welcome to Micah and The Hatman, live. For those curious about the intro music for this podcast, it is Soy Sauce for Geese from Fatal Fury Special. If you've never played the Fatal Fury games, there's a great many things wrong with you. They were awesome back in the day.
Strange name for a song, though.
Well, all of the Geese themes for Geese Howard are named after different things you can put on geese when you cook them. Soy sauce, mustard, so on and so forth. And the two most popular ones are the ones where certain characters fight him. The one where Rio from Art of Fighting fought him is mustard for geese, and then the one where Terry Bogard fought him is the most popular one, and that's soy sauce for geese. And then in Tekken 7, there's a metal version of it that's really fucking awesome.
It sounds like a hipster band name. Soy Sauce for Geese.
It kind of does, but it's a fucking great character theme, though. Alright, so, Hatman. I talked about this a few weeks ago. Yep. Sopranos Season 1.
Yep. Yeah, to be perfectly fair, when I said, alright, you sold me, I need to check this out, I added it to my fucking list. I finally got around to fucking watching it. And you're right, the first couple episodes are kind of boring. They kind of take a while. The first one especially because it jumps around a bit, and I've noticed that like it kind of does jump around a lot in the first couple episodes, especially between like, you know, Tony in therapy and then going off and doing whatever the fuck. But then like about halfway through, it kind of like finds its element and like hits its stride there, and you just keep watching it. You can't put it down after that. And let me just say that this is a very good show to have a drink and a cigar with. Oh yes, but no, I'm surprised by how much I enjoyed this. It's a different sort of take on not so much a mob movie, because obviously it's not a movie, but just the idea of the mob in popular culture. And it's kind of self-aware in that regard too, because the idea of a mobster going to fucking therapy is crazy to think about. And they even admit it multiple times. You know, do you know what this would do to my reputation? Like, and when people hear it, they don't fucking believe it, because it's like, what in the hell is this? So it embraces and plays off of, and in some ways just subverts the classic tropes that we're associated with. And the self-referential humor doesn't really end there either. I mean, they straight up talk about like how Goodfellas was. One of the dudes is quoting Scarface, shit, and fucking The Godfather.
Oh yeah,
it's funny in that regard, but you also like have conflicted feelings on how you feel about these guys too, because they are, I don't know if I could call them really anti-heroes or anti-villains. It's kind of hard.
I would say they're just charming villains. Because there's no real redeeming qualities to a lot of these characters, except for their senses of humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the disarming part of The Sopranos, is Tony Soprano really strikes you as the kind of guy you could sit down and have a beer with. And I think that's what makes him so scary.
Like him.
Yeah. Well, I lived in Chicago. Like, Italian, I love Italians. Italians are fun people.
They know how to party.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for damn sure.
Hell yeah, they do. Almost dated an Italian girl once. I think I've told this story before, but her dad didn't like me because I'm not Italian. I'm like,
there you go.
Well, whatever, dude.
Yeah, but like like you really don't know how to feel about these. I mean, prime example, and this goes for most of the characters. You really don't know how to fucking feel about them. Prime example is Tony's mother.
Oh, I know exactly how to feel about her.
Oh no, I know how I feel about her too. But like for the first few episodes, it's like, yeah, you can sort of sympathize with her some, and then you just sort of see this manipulative behavior continue, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then his therapist fucking calls her on. It's like, she is stoking conflict for, to get what she fucking wants. And then it's kind of funny because then Tony just about fucking attacks her for it. But if it's not obvious by that point, then it's fucking obvious. And then you find out, like, oh no, she's having Alzheimer's really fucking bad. And it's like, okay, now how the fuck am I supposed to feel about this?
Wait till the second season.
Ooh.
That's all I'll say when it comes to that part.
Ooh, it gets worse. But yeah, like, you don't know how the fuck you feel. And to be perfectly honest, I've got someone sort of like that in my family. Who, people... I'll just say this. Her sons do not like her very much. I get along with her fine, but her sons are like, she is batshit and fucking mean. And it's like, I sort of see that in Tony's mom, but then at the same time, I'm like, wait a minute. She's just an asshole, isn't she?
Yeah.
But like,
there's a reason that some critics, when they were reviewing the series back in the day, basically said that Tony's mom is the real villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can sort of see that. But like, everyone does something kind of fucked up. At least in the first season. And maybe that's supposed to be some kind of commentary on, well, everybody's got their own demons to deal with. Nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody is truly good or truly bad. The whole gray and grayer of morality sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like, you've got a dude who is literally in the business of committing crimes, of which murder is among them, showing him as a family man who is dealing with depression and going on Prozac and all the shit that goes with that. And you don't know how to feel. I will say this in closing, though. I had a plate of spaghetti after finishing the first season, and it was fucking delicious. I blame this show for it.
It really is a fantastic show. Because I think it was Ethan who recommended this to me, because I remember saying to him in passing at one point, I'd never seen The Sopranos before. He's like, you need to watch it. So it really was a good inspiration for me in conceptualizing Inglewood, because I'm, as Hatman could attest, because he started editing issue 2, obviously it's Chicago, the mob is going to play a part. This is kind of giving me a newer take on mafia elements that I'm going to have to start to integrate and into one of the big bads of the series. Basically, the big thing I've been doing lately is working on a rogues gallery. Because I do want one. I don't just want it to be, what if Saints Row had a good guy in it, So, but let's go ahead and...
Does Chef Boyardee count? Barely.
No, that's not real spaghetti.
It barely fucking counts.
Yeah. been watching Gordon Ramsay videos all week to help with my own cooking. It's like,
oh my fucking god, I got some fucking great recipes.
I now want to prepare lobster for people, even though I hate lobster. But
his method.
Then again, someone told me, don't eat it red lobster anyway. It's not fresh lobster. I'm like,
no.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I'll buy a live one and kill it and boil it.
Yeah. His method of preparing steak is basically my go-to at this point.
Oh yeah, same here. I use some different seasonings. I don't use garlic with my steak. I don't like garlic on steak, but I'll use some other stuff. Anyway.
I think it goes really well. But yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely whenever you're cooking meats, a combination of butter and olive oil, always a good thing. Whether it's pork, chicken, turkey, any of it. It goes really well.
That keeps shit moist.
And not bad for your health either, provided you're on keto. All right, let's move on to my pick of the week. So initially, what I wanted to do for my pick of the week, and like up until like a minute before the minute before the politics podcast, I was going to review the album Communion by Septic Flesh, but I decided against it because I realized I played Devil May Cry 5 this last week. And I never really got the chance to talk about it because I did beat it. And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about kind of the controversies that are surrounding certain elements of it as well. And kind of go from there. But what I will say is this, is if you are one of my patrons and you have not checked the heavy metal subsection, do so. And you can listen to the album Communion by Septic Flesh, which, again, one of the albums that inspired me to write Project Lazarus, one of the 2 comics I'm working on. So, Devil May Cry 5. I really enjoy the Devil May Cry series. Not one of my favorite franchises ever, it's not top 5 for me, but it is a very good one. The reason that it is not top 5 for me is it has had some rough entries. The second game, obviously, not up to par at all. It sucks. The 4th game, great combat, trash level design. Trash tier level design in that game. And Nero at the time was not that interesting of a character. And then you have the very controversial DMC Devil May Cry, the one made by Ninja Theory, which has the best combat in a Devil May Cry game up until this game. Spoilers. But has such a fucking edgy story that it's kind of almost intolerable. So, Hipster May Cry is a good way to put it. But it is so edgy and so millennial. It's like the Suicide Squad of video games before Suicide Squad even came out. So in a way, Suicide Squad is the DMC of film. It can be fun, but dear God, does it pander. Oh God. So.
Oh my God. Holy shit! I'm never gonna be able to unhear that, unsee it. Fuck it.
Oh God. But Devil May Cry 5 was a game that was looking to return to form for the series. They brought back the director of Devil May Cry 3 for this one to be one of the producers on it. And they really, you can tell that they took a lot of time and energy into making this game really fucking good and really fucking just fun to play. So you play as 3 different characters in this game. You play as Nero, who returns from Devil May Cry 4. He has had his arm severed by a demon, not just like severed with a blade, like ripped the fuck off, and now is using a cybernetic arm instead. You have a new character called V, who does not attack directly unless he is putting on a finishing blow. Instead, he uses familiars. Instead, he uses one called, that is based on the Shadow, mini-boss from the first Devil May Cry. He has another called Griffin, which is based on the Griffin boss from the first Devil May Cry. And he has his Devil Trigger summons a giant fucking golem with a laser beam for an eye. So,
frickin' golems with frickin' laser beams in their frickin' eyes.
Exactly. It's frickin' crazy. And then, of course, Dante returns. That's not a spoiler. He was shown in the trailers. with this particular game, I was a little skeptical about one particular thing, and that was the music, because the theme "Pull My Devil Trigger" was a little light, you know, for a Devil May Cry game. Which, like, you listen to the fight songs of the last few, like, or every game since the first, not counting 2, it's heavy fucking metal. And "Pull My Devil Trigger," not really so much, more like a pop rock feel to it. But dear God, does it fit the pace just so well. And there's also a new character introduced named Nico. She is the granddaughter of the person who built Dante's guns. And she is surprisingly endearing for a hick. And when I played the game for game night, people seemed to think she was hot. I didn't quite see the appeal. It's the buck teeth that kind of don't really do it for me. But, I haven't even talked about the gameplay yet. The real thing about the gameplay is that it is old school Devil May Cry with a few neat little additions, plus good pacing, plus an enjoyable story, plus good level design. It's basically all the good parts of 4, but with a little bit extra added in, and then they fixed the problems from 4 as well, to make, in a way, possibly the best Devil May Cry game yet. I think it's a little too early to tell. I'd need to go back and play the older games, but this one just is... I can't think of anything wrong with it. That's the crazy part. Like, there's nothing really... There's no negatives to it. It's not a... You know, I don't know if the perfect game exists, but, like, this... Like, I couldn't think of anything that would make it really better than it was already. Because not only does it have this really solid, fun, fast-paced gameplay that's combo-based, and, you know, the music picks up the better you play it, and stuff like that, and all the new arms that Nero can use that are really cool, and all the stylish elements, plus a legitimately interesting story that is very well told, really makes for a combination of a game that is Game of the Year potential. And keep something in mind here. Capcom released another game that is Game of the Year potential just last month. That sold, like, what, 6 million copies in the first week? This has sold 3 million in a weekend. This might be the most, like, highest selling Devil May Cry ever. Like, Capcom is back. Resident Evil 7, Monster Hunter World, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Devil May Cry 5. Holy fucking shit. If only Street Fighter was better than it is. But no, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite too. But all things considered, like, they have been on a roll lately. And this is a really, really good example. Oh, Mega Man 11 too.
Yep. They'd be even better if they fucking finally released Mega Man Legends 3.
I was never impressed by Legends. But regardless, though, it is just a fun feeling just to have this. Whoa! Servant of God just gave me $30.
Ooh, uh-oh.
What's this about?
Uh-oh. I gotta review something for Servant of God.
Is this enough to help Hatman with the review?
Yep. All right, that means you gotta do it. You gotta do it with me.
What are we reviewing?
The Trump Prophecy.
The Trump Prophecy?
The Trump Prophecy.
What is the Trump Prophecy?
The Trump Prophecy is a book that was adapted to a film. We have to review the film of a guy who was given a vision by God in 2011 that Donald Trump was going to win the election in 2016.
Oh, God.
It has a 1.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, God. Well, I'm not surprised there, but, God damn it.
Yep.
Anyway, back to Devil May Cry.
We talked about it last weekend.
One thing that I wasn't even here for that, but
hey, no, everyone was like, "Is Micah gonna review it too? Is he gonna review it too?" I'm like, "You gotta ask him." So, all right, we're even now.
Great. Real quick, on the censorship issue with this game, really wasn't that bothered by the fact that Sony asked that they put a shine on Trish's butt too. By the way, lady over Trish any day of the week. But there is a scene where you see Lady naked, but the only thing you would get a good view of is her hind end, her very shapely hind end.
Naked
but
lady butt, you say?
Yes, but they basically put a lens flare on her butt to censor her butt crack, basically, so you don't get the full Monty, basically. And in the PlayStation 4 version of the game, they do the same thing with Trish, and it really didn't bother me because with Trish it's such a nothing thing, and if they had changed the camera angle, you wouldn't have seen it anyway. You know, so, But, I don't really, I'm not, like, nudity doesn't really, in video games, like, it just depends on it. Like, it wasn't really there for titillation. It was there to show a sense of vulnerability. And you can show somebody from a side view and cover up the really naughty stuff and convey the same thing. So, yeah, I just don't really... And if Capcom was the one who did it, then I really don't have a problem with it. Because it's like, yeah, we would rather not, you know. I just think that it would have been smarter to just change the camera angle in the first place. But it doesn't really, I'm not angry about it. So. Alright. Because here's the thing. If nudity does not do anything for a scene, I will freely admit I don't really think that it serves a purpose. So, there are smarter ways to go about conveying such a similar, you know, feeling of vulnerability. Like I said, change the camera angle or something like that. Give the illusion of nudity, but, you know, don't show it. Like, and sometimes, for some people, that's even more tantalizing. So. Alright. Let's go to the first topic of the day. So, James Gunn is back on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So you might notice that we you know, put that the title of this podcast is Outrage Culture is Stupid. I'm going to read a tweet of myself because I am egotistical.
You're so much more humble than I am.
Yes, I too am extremely humble. Guardians reference when we're talking about Guardians. Can't beat it. And to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if part of this move was to keep Dave Bautista as Drax the Destroyer, because Dave Bautista is awesome as Drax the Destroyer.
Yep, and Dave Bautista said that he was going to drop out if James Gunn was not coming back as director.
Exactly. And I thought that, for those who don't know, I don't like Jack Posobiec at all. I think that he is not a smart person. I think that bring up him palling around with Richard Spencer. See how quick he blocks you. Because he did. So, but he said here, question for those celebrating James Gunn being rehired. How do you feel about Roseanne? She shouldn't have been fired either, asshole. And by the way, outraged mobs aren't good on either side, and Mike Cernovich is a hack. Or Cernovich, as I prefer to call him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's basically the reason why James Gunn got the boot in the first place. It was...
Cernovich.
Yeah, well, it was retribution for what Disney did to Roseanne.
Yeah.
And that was fucking wrong, too. So you don't... No. It's not a fucking eye for an eye situation. Fuck that shit.
It makes the whole world blind.
Fuck that shit. Exactly. No, he should not. I mean, he fucking apologized for and we said this when he got fired. He apologized for this shit when he was first announced as the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah.
So dredging this shit back up again is beyond fucking retarded.
It was childish.
The Yahtzee, as the Yahtzee quote goes, it's pants on head retarded.
Yes. With my whole perspective on it is that I don't look at James Gunn as somebody that I would ever talk to. I had food delivered to me earlier today from Wingstop, because it's one of the few things where I can, get something like keto-friendly delivered to me. And do you want to know what I said to the guy who delivered me that food?
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. That's all I said. If I ever met James Gunn, all I would ever say to him is, thank you for the funny movies. And that's it. I would have no relationship with him other than that, because that's all it is for me. He produces a product. That's it. Not everybody who produces products for me needs to agree with me politically.
Yeah.
And part of being an adult, and I had a lesson in this recently, is doing business sometimes with people you don't agree with politically. I had to deal with somebody who was clearly a social justice warrior not too long ago in regards to handling an insurance claim, where the lady came this close to accusing me of racism because I would not reverse a liability decision. I didn't know she was black. I had no way of knowing she was black. Didn't care. She's a customer. Still served her, because politics don't matter. Only color I see as a capitalist is green.
Mm-hmm.
And Gamora looks good in green. But
I was just about to make a Gamora joke.
But in all seriousness, though, the big thing that I think to myself is, why on earth would I really care that much? I mean, there are people that are in this film that James Gunn does not agree with their politics, and yet works with them, and they love each other. Dave Bautista has voted Republican, has said so himself. Chris Pratt, probably the most outspoken conservative in Hollywood. Plus, lo and behold, the villain from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, none other than Kurt Russell, a fucking libertarian!
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like politics doesn't matter that much.
Well, that's the thing. Chris has specifically said, yeah, I don't agree with the things that he fucking said, but I know James Gunn is not that kind of person, and
Exactly.
I do not agree with him being fired.
Yeah.
That's a fucking mature, reasoned response. It's a goddamn wonder that the fucking outrage mob can't take a fucking hint.
Exactly. And this is the problem with outrage culture. Like I said at the beginning of the year, I'm fucking done with it.
Yeah.
Let me read
It's
off what...
stupid.
incredibly. Let me read off real quick what Chaos Sonic just donated $5 for on this one. So he says... let it load. And is Thurnovich censored in some areas? If so, the dumbass deserves it. I have no sympathy for the asshole. Well, I don't want him censored. I just don't want people to pay attention to him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Exactly.
So...
I wouldn't know if he is censored anywhere, but...
Not to my knowledge. But, whole thing about... And Cernovich has his own sins, by the way. I think that he echoed the Vox Day thing like marital rape is not a thing. Like... Not a good dude. So, at the end of the day... Drink. Why do we think this happened? I don't think it's a coincidence that this happened after a critical and audience backlash against Captain Marvel. In the same reason that I don't think it was an accident that after a bunch of Captain Marvel trailers dropped, they dropped very early a trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
They are basically trying to make sure that they have a lineup in case this one movie does not continue to produce in the future. Because Captain Marvel has been a fiscal success for Marvel Studios, but at the same time, it might not be a long-term one. Look at Batman v Superman to Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I mean, even fucking Warner Brothers has said that the DCEU model that they had going forward is not sustainable anymore.
Exactly.
They fucked up so bad that they have to change fucking everything now. So it's just a loosely connected universe.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to a very well meshed one.
Yeah, indeed. But this is the thing, is that I think that it is completely a reaction to the Captain Marvel news, in the same way that I thought that, you know, the Spider-Man thing was a reaction to it. So, and this, by the way, is not the first time that, you know, Kevin Feige has made moves like this. He's not stupid completely, you know. I really do think that this is the wisest thing that they could do, is bring back a guy who, combined with these characters, is guaranteed money. Guaranteed money. So, because I don't really know, like, Taika Waititi, or however you pronounce his name, could have directed... There, thank you. Could have done a Guardians Volume 3 and probably made a really funny movie. Because it's basically what Thor Ragnarok was Guardians 2.5 without the Guardians in it at all. But I think that that's the whole point, is to make sure that they've got a good lineup. Because not only is there probably less faith... Rumor is that they don't have a lot of faith in Brie Larson going forward after this most recent film, even though it was a fiscal success. Because keep in mind, Batman v Superman was a fiscal success. Keep in mind, The Last Jedi was technically a fiscal success. So on and so forth. You know, they have to have a backup plan. They have to have a lineup in the future that's going to be able to continue to produce money and sustain Marvel Studios. So they've got, you know, Guardians Volume 3 now, with James Gunn back on it. You've got Spider-Man Far From Home. There's going to be another Doctor Strange film. There's, of course, going to be that Black Widow solo movie that I'm looking forward to. So on and so forth. Like, that's a pretty good lineup, you know, because you got to keep in mind, aside from Brie Larson not really hitting the mark, you've also got, you know, Chris Evans is going to be walking away for a while. Robert Downey Jr. needs a break. You know, Chris Hemsworth's going to stick around as Thor, though, which is cool.
I'll gladly take that.
So, needless to say, though, I think it's Hatman and I were never for Gunn getting fired in the first place. Do we want Roseanne to come back? Fuck yes. Like let's. Who
was it in the chat that was talking about a like Roseanne and witness protection and fucking
James Woods is her handler.
Yeah, James Woods.
That would be.
I love that.
That would be
great.
Hilarious.
Holy shit! Just those two playing off each other would be wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, let's do that too. All right, next topic. Halo coming back to PC.
Yep. After two kind of, well, one halfway decent port and the other one being kind of.
Well, you played the Mac version of that port. The actual PC version of the first game is actually pretty good.
Well, and that's why I say, yeah, it's all right, because the multiplayer elements were really what sold that. Because you were able to play Halo 1 multiplayer online, and I mean, like, I remember being able to play fucking 8 players in Blood Gulch.
Oh yeah, online Blood Gulch was a treat.
Oh hell fucking yes. And then Halo 2 for Vista.
Ugh, let's not talk about that.
I will say one thing about that. That is a very sneaky way to try and get people to upgrade to Vista.
It's true.
Motherfuckers. But no, so
the Master Chief Collection.
The new and improved Master Chief Collection, including Halo Reach. We're getting Halo Reach for the Master Chief Collection. Fuck yes. It kind of odd because, you know, Chief is only in the game as an Easter egg, but fuck it. I don't care. It's Halo Reach. So now you can quite literally play all the fucking Halo games on Xbox One through 2 discs, pretty much. Or Game Pass, really.
Yeah.
But holy shit, this is fucking great. I love this shit. Micah, we can play Halo together.
Yes, we can.
Provided my internet isn't shit.
Yes. By the way, we still need to test Sea of Thieves. But
Yes,
I've been wanting to play that with a group of people for a while now, just to try it out. But no, I'm excited about this because I have very, very good memories of playing Halo in my dorm back at college, and it being like the weekend thing to do. Because it's a Christian school. I mean, we're not going to go out and get drunk. So we got to have something to do. So, and it kept us from carnal relations with our girlfriends that we shouldn't have had. So it was overall net positive. So getting to like play Halo 1 and Halo 2, like getting to just rumble through Blood Gulch again with Capture the Flag online and playing through the campaigns of some of these games and stuff like that. Like, or fuck, even Reach's multiplayer is really good. Like that's gonna be awesome.
Halo
and the
3's
fact that
multiplayer, man. Halo 3's multiplayer.
I liked Reach better, but
that's okay. I played more of Reach than Halo 3, but I have fond memories for Halo 3's multiplayer.
But the simple fact is like this is a big move. I mean, plus this is coming to Steam.
Yeah,
guys, there has never been a Halo game on Steam.
No,
this is the first one.
Yeah,
and they're giving you all of them except for 5.
Yeah, which is the worst one.
But this is the second big Microsoft game to come to Steam, second after Killer Instinct. Which, by the way, if you don't own Killer Instinct, go fucking buy it. It is an amazing fighting game. I mean, fuck, you get to play as General Rom. And Rash from Battletoads.
He plays the Arbiter, too.
Yeah, him too. It's not the Keith David version, so it's...
No, it's not. They had to get a different VA, but...
Yeah.
Oh, Halo Wars. I guess Spartan Assault and Halo Wars haven't happened. Well, Halo Wars, debatable. Not for me, because I'm not into RTS, but...
Well, we're talking shooters here, like, not spin-offs.
Spartan Assault? Really?
Yeah, Spartan Assault's on Steam, but none of the main Halo games. Like, because I own Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2 on PC, but I've played neither of them. One of our fans, Desk, like constantly tells me to play them. I've never had the chance. I've never taken the time. So it's a big move, and I'm interested to see. I'm interested in the fact that Microsoft is finally willing to get in on the on the PC bandwagon a lot more, considering they're the ones who are manufacturing the OS for them any fucking way. So, Servant of God just donated $2. What do you got here, buddy? We need a celebratory button for this stuff. That's a good point. We need a good news, everyone button or something like that. So I'll have to think of something.
I like that.
I'm already in the process of trying to figure out a new intro vid for the podcast as well. But needless to say, though, I'm super excited for this. By the way, Hatman, you and I haven't played Gears 5 yet or 4 yet together either.
No. Again, it basically is because my internet is shitty, and that's
why
I
ever
said
download?
It depends on how my. Oh no! It finally fucking downloaded.
Oh, okay.
I got it downloaded. But, yeah, it's basically depending on my fucking internet.
We might have to do that tomorrow anyway. So, but needless to say, though, like this is big. This is Microsoft's big console seller finally coming to PC in a big way, and hopefully,
well, that's a really good point. Like this is really the Halo series was among like the last big sellers for the Xbox One or just Xbox consoles in general. I mean, now you've got pretty much all the Halo games, or at least all the relevant Halo games, coming to PC. All the Gears games are on PC now.
No, they're not.
They're not?
No. Gears
Which
1 and Gears 4. 2 and 3 are not on them.
Gears 2 isn't on PC.
No.
Could have sworn
there was originally a port for it planned, and then Cliff Bleszinski nixed it.
Fuck Cliffy B.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, fucking. Well, I mean, okay. Let me revise this. This is their strategy now, or at least it appears to be their strategy. That PC gaming is equivalent to console gaming. And something interesting that they said in the announcement that Master Chief Collection was coming to PC, they called it a first-class experience. Now, I don't know about you. Maybe you'll have a different opinion on this, but that kind of tells me that PC is like top tier, and then Xbox One X is the middle tier now for their games, and then Xbox One S or just your standard one is like fucking coach.
PC Master Race.
The fucking airplane coach.
PC Master Race. There's a reason I have three of them, actually.
Yeah, but it's very interesting, and even with the rumors that they're going to start porting software to Nintendo consoles like the Switch,
that'd be crazy.
What the fuck? Like, are we starting to see the end of the console exclusives, at least from Microsoft now? Possible.
I will say this though, I really want Ninja Gaiden 2 ported to PC. Because that game is the shit. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to our final topic of the day. We don't have a whole lot of time for this. The blame game problem. So back to fuckface, sadly. Of course, because he wanted to play the media like a fiddle, he put subscribe to PewDiePie in his fucking manifesto. Knowing that Felix here is somebody that the media wants to destroy. Specifically Polygon.
Yeah.
They
he
fucking
he
hate
said
him.
he said subscribe to PewDiePie in the footage. I don't remember if it was in the manifesto or not, but he actually... Anyway. It's
this
bullshit.
is something in regards to entertainment I have wanted to talk about for a long time, and I really want to talk about now. I am sick and fucking tired of everybody blaming everyone but the fucking felons. Happened with Columbine and the Doom and Duke Nukem. You know, and fucking, like, ICP and fucking Marilyn Manson. And it continues to do so. Is like the Virginia Tech shooter. So on and so forth. Some kid killed himself that was a big Halo fan, which is where the "and hero" meme came around, if I remember right. You know, like, the ridiculousness of this. All this is parents and virtue signalers being afraid of reality. If you think that video games cause violence, you're an idiot. If you think that PewDiePie turns people into neo-Nazis, you're an idiot. If you think that Doom causes school shootings, you're an idiot.
And you've been an idiot since 1999.
Yes, like you are a fucking moron. Because there is nothing that proves it. All of these fuckfaces ate bread. Does bread turn you into a killer? Because if so, I got bad news for you. Everybody's gonna turn into one. Because everybody eats fucking bread.
Yeah. I mean, it almost feels like the moral equivalent to all those studies that come out year after year that's like, oh, chocolate is bad for you. Actually, no, chocolate has lots of health benefits. Actually, no, chocolate gives you cancer. No, chocolate can help prevent cancer. No, chocolate is literally cancer in chocolate. Like, it's fucking stupid. It feels like this constant back and forth. You know, this person is a gateway to the alt-right. No, actually, they're perfectly okay. That's nonsense. No, actually, they're horrible, and the shooting should be laid at their fucking feet. We need to have a conversation about why he said subscribe to PewDiePie, because that has potential problematic elements. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck... Why? Fucking why? Why do we need to talk about shit that is ultimately irrelevant? Because it is. It's fucking irrelevant.
Hatman, I have had a revelation.
Oh, God.
Fuckface. He breathed air. We have to stop.
Oh shit. All right.
So my advice to all of you social justice warriors would be to now stop breathing.
Nope.
Because you...
Micah?
I mean, he breathed air. It must turn
Micah.
you into a Nazi. What?
I've had a greater revelation.
What?
Fuckface lived on Earth.
Oh, God.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Climate change now. We need to destroy the Earth. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. Burn all the coal right now. All of it. Christ.
Outrage culture is stupid.
Very stupid. On all levels.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
We gotta move on to the Q&A. We're actually late to it.
Fuck this gay Earth. Take me away to Mars, Elon Musk.
Yes. Because on Mars, we'll have women with 3 boobs.
I'm okay with this.
That'll be pretty awesome. As if I couldn't figure out what to do with 2 already. No, let's go ahead and... so I didn't see... Well, actually, no. There was something in the Discord. So, will there be a shame Micah button? No. You can't shame the captain. I'll throw you through an airlock. Alistair wants to know, for the Entertainment Podcast, what would we want to see for a future Marvel vs. Capcom game? Bring back the fucking X-Men.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason a lot of people didn't buy Infinite. No Wolverine. And... this one's probably more for me, because I think this is about Souls games, is what do we prefer? New game plus or new playthrough with a different character? I actually prefer to do a different build whenever I'm playing a Souls game, if I'm going to replay it, or try like a different... like the whole Guts playthrough thing was an experiment for me. Like, would this be interesting to play as? It really wasn't. So, yeah, that's my preference when it comes to those games. Okay, Talon wants to know, do we think we could ever get a blockbuster sword and sorcery film? Or maybe something like Elric? Well, there's this thing called Lord of the Rings. You know.
Yeah.
And Conan the Barbarian. Which, by the way, the first Conan the Barbarian movie is awesome. Anvil of Crom. One of the best openings to a film ever. And then, are we planning on getting Metal Wolf Chaos's remake? Probably not.
Not familiar with it anyway, so...
yeah. It didn't really interest me.
Alright. Emails.
Yes.
Questionable weeb friend Chris. So to clarify... Micah only wants to wipe out waifus from waifu dating games? Everything else is perfectly fine?
No. All waifu anime must die.
Not sure if we need to give you back the Behelit then.
I'll find it. I'll just find the damn thing at some point. Can't hide that shit from me.
I'll get my swim trunks for the beach episode. All right, and one more. If EVS is the Superman of Comicsgate and your boy Zach is the Batman of Comicsgate, what would we be from Matchstick?
The Wonder Twins? I don't fucking know. I'm pretty obscure when you think about it.
Shape of a hat.
which is really weird, because if you think about it, of all the people that are considered like the Comicsgate personalities, who has probably the most popular single video about SJWs in comics, not from your boy Zach? It's me. 500,000 fucking views. So, but the reason that I'm not considered that way, I think, is just because I don't really spend that much time on the internet. Mm-hmm. I have a day job that I'm working at constantly. I probably work too much, to be honest with you. So, and it's because that makes so much more money than any of my other pursuits. You got to keep in mind, like, that's what keeps a roof over my head.
Yeah, I mean, this is a side gig for both of us.
So. Yeah. So, we would love it to be the gig, but it's very rare that... Yeah, it's very rare that happens for people. Very rare.
Yeah.
And I do think the fact that I have a much more measured approach to things, that I'm not full of outrage all the time, is part of the reason as to why our viewer base is lower than other people's, is because we don't want to waste our time being angry because it never solves anything.
Exactly.
So I would rather be like my audience build as a slow boil than, you know, it be this huge audience that I know nothing to do with and then burn out in 2 years. You know, it's got to have a foundation built to it. And some of these people who want internet fame and get it, they don't have much of a foundation, really. So, all right.
So we got one from the Twitter.
Okay.
From our dank horse Elric.
I love that name.
I do too. All right. 3-part question. So let's roll through this quick so we can get to the chat this time. How focused do YouTube channels need to be? Is it better to cover multiple topics for variety or focus on a single niche for consistency? If you're covering multiple topics, how closely related do they need to be? Number 2, is there a market for actual shows like AVGN, Zero Punctuation, I didn't realize what the CP was for a second there, or Nostalgia Critic on YouTube anymore? These days it seems like all the successful channels are either off-the-cuff vloggers or streamers. And number 3...
Well, they always have been, to answer that.
Yeah, that's true. And number 3, you said before that content creators will eventually need to create their own platforms to get away from YouTube. What do these platforms need to succeed where the likes of Channel Awesome and Normal Boots failed?
Well, they have to have a direction to answer the third question. That was the big problem with Normal Boots and the big problem with Channel Awesome. They had no fucking clue what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have a direction as a group. Like, it's like, what do we want to do? What does this show look like? Why does it look the way that it does? How do we consistently improve upon the production value? So on and so forth.
And they need to stick to their guns, too. Like, actually stay on the... Like, stay exclusive to
stay on topic, platforms. Or stay on target.
Yeah, exactly. Because they both ended up coming back to YouTube. Or at least in Normal Boots' case, the like 1 week exclusive videos that they would do, they would just be uploaded to YouTube anyway. So people were willing to wait a week in order just to get it on YouTube.
Exactly.
People are fucking lazy.
And they prefer the platform.
Yeah. And as far as how focused channels need to be, it just depends on your audience.
Yeah.
I mean just see what sticks.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I talk about entertainment. That is my thing. You know, I can, and that includes many things: film, video games, comic books, so on and so forth. I have a working knowledge of all of it. So that's basically what, like, the overarching umbrella is. But if you prefer to just talk manga, just talk anime, just talk video games, or something like that, you know, that's I would say it's better to do. So,
all right,
on to the chat.
Let's get to the chat.
So, thoughts on Grant Morrison? When he's on, he's on. When he's not, he's really not.
On the whole, I like him, though.
I think I like his Justice League a lot. I hated his Batman. Despised his Batman so much. Trying to think of other stuff he's done. Loved the new X-Men.
What was it that...
I've been hearing good things about his Green Lantern run, but I don't know if I'm going to end up reading it. Just because at this point I'm so soured on him. I don't know. Like, for me, he always seemed like he was a better writer of team books than he really was solo series.
Oh, All-Star Superman. Duh.
Well, yeah, except for All-Star Superman. He's one of those writers that when you give him a lot of freedom to experiment, he could actually really, really, really put forward something truly unique because he's on drugs all the time. But in all seriousness, though, Mark Miller, Brian Michael Bendis, all three of those guys who were really popular around the same time, I think that's one quality that the three of them share, is that they are a lot better when they have more creative freedom than less. because some of their worst works were when they had less creative freedom. You know, but you look at like Bendis, what is considered his best works, Daredevil and Alias. One of the two is his own creation. You know, another one is, you know, with Grant Morrison, The Invisibles. You know, his own creation. You know, and Justice League. You know, with Mark Miller, you know, the Ultimate Universe, which he had more creative freedom on. Same with Bendis with Ultimate Spider-Man. So I think that you have to give him room to stretch his legs. And he's either reestablishing a franchise that hasn't been doing so well or something like that where he really shines. So. All right.
Excuse me. Let's see. There was one that I really liked. Here we go. From Samurai Bear. Opinion on Phoenix Point's and Epic Games debacle.
Well, I know one thing with Epic has been that they've been selling data to the Chinese government, in which case, fuck them, I'm not using your platform.
So with this, it was a crowdfunded game that was supposed to be released to Steam.
Oh yeah, we talked about that one before. We've talked about that one on the Overflow not too long ago. Yeah, it was scummy. No, we did with Metro Exodus, but it's a different. It's a similar situation.
This is a crowd-funded game.
Yeah.
And part of that was the promise that they would get like a Steam release, but now it's come to an Epic Games exclusive.
Yeah, fuck that. That's stupid.
So, that's fucking bullshit.
Congratulations on fucking your fans over, you assholes.
Yeah, no, you do not get to promise your customers one thing and then fuck them in the ass for that. No, fuck that. Screw you guys.
Oh, well, this didn't come through, but Servant of God donated again. There, I'll repeat it real quick. Thoughts on Hollywood's complete lack of creativity in what's being released? Well, they're taking safe bets because the economy right now still feels fragile, even though it's better than it was before. They're wanting to go for safe money because of how much they could lose on an investment. So that's part of the reason why franchises are pushed the way that they are. But we're also seeing that they're not necessarily guaranteed money. They do take love and care to be good. See Captain Marvel, The Last Jedi, so on and so forth. Batman v Superman.
Yeah, if you can get a franchise, you have a continuous revenue stream because you have an established audience there. That's part of the reason why even in like literature, if you want to try and sell a book, say that it's a series. It's a however many part series that you're trying to sell. You'll be more likely to actually fucking sell it. Pro tip for you writers out there.
Let's see here. Why do I hate Grant Morrison's Batman run? Zur and Ah. Everything that, when it boils right down to it, everything that Grant Morrison was trying to do in his run on Batman, Scott Snyder did better on the New 52 Batman. And I don't even like Scott Snyder's Batman that much. Let's see here. Alistair Folgore asks, what is the most disappointing animated show we have ever watched? For me, it was Avengers Assemble.
Disappointing animated show?
It was written nowhere near as clever, and I just, fuck that.
God, I can't really think of anything that I was like really, really disappointed in. I got nothing for you. I'll have to think about that because I don't know off the top of my head.
Koopa's Revenge Home. Should Superman ever kill? No.
No.
That was the one big mistake of the John Byrne run. I didn't like it when he killed Zod in Superman 2. You know, like it just no. It's actually frightening the idea that he would just kill someone.
You mean killed Zod in Man of Steel?
Well, he did that in Man of Steel too. But and Man of Steel, it wasn't just bad. It wasn't just a bad idea. It was stupidly written. Literally has control of his head. like headlock and all. And he knows how to fly now. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't fly up. And just continue to beat the shit out of the guy. Sorry. It's one of the worst written sequences ever. It's really, really dumb. Like, if it's a conscious being, like a human or something like that, what do you mean, and do what? Beat the fuck out. He's Superman! Freeze him! Punch him in the head! Like, seriously, get him away from people that he could kill. What do you mean? He's Superman! It's like saying, it's like having a toolbox in front of you. And you know how to make a table. And then you ask yourself, how should I build this table? He has found very clever ways throughout his entire comic book existence to not kill people. Plenty of material to go through.
I mean, it's more interesting for someone
Zod has
to
all of Superman's.
not kill.
He had Zod beat. Again, Zod is on his knees. He has control of his neck. All he has to do is grab him and fly up.
Or turn his fucking head down.
Yes. There is no feasible way to justify what he did, what happened in Man of Steel. You can't. He was beaten and he just killed him.
I mean, I thought the whole point of that was to bring it up later, but it really wasn't brought up later.
No,
it did not affect him.
It really was just, it was a bad writing move. It was not well thought out or anything like that. How you knock him unconscious again, and you have access to the Phantom Zone. Like, instead you murder him. Like, the DCE, you can't defend that. Like, again, if you have... Up! The fact he didn't even think of it is really bad writing. I'd have taken Sarcasm Vo. And that's saying something. It's like Batman with a gun, which happened in the next fucking movie.
Yeah. Basically, it's Superman's die Wiley moment. I am more than a robot.
I mean, just wow. It was really dumb. Like, it just made no fucking sense.
Oh god. Oh
wow. The whole thing is just basically there to kill him for the sake of killing him.
Oh
like,
god.
It really is bad writing. It's just terrible, terrible writing.
Oh god. Oh Jesus Christ, Brian Gilmartin, you just about fucking killed me. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh. God, I'm a little dizzy now. Jesus.
Oh, that's right. The Phantom Zone portal did explode. Still, you haven't beaten unconscious. You know, you don't, because the problem that I have with it is that you aside from just the weakness of the situation, you steer Superman into it, and it really is. It comes across almost as random in the way that it's put together. Like, it was just there to be edgy. And the problem with edgy is you're trying to, kind of appeal to that going against the grain, man, that sort of rebellious feeling like you're doing something wrong with it. Well, you did something wrong and people didn't like it. Like, that's everyone's hang-up with Man of Steel, is that he killed people. Or that he killed a man.
I mean...
Because that's fucking scary.
There's a reason why people say don't cut yourself on all that edge.
Yeah. But let's talk about this before we leave today. Is the idea of a superhero flat out fucking killing someone when they have that much power is scary as shit.
It's like I said, it's way more interesting for a hero to find a reason to not kill someone, especially when they have gone like absolute atrocity. Like, you think of all the times Batman has given reasons for not killing the Joker.
Yeah.
That fucking, what was it? The speech at the end of Arkham City where it's like, after all that, I still would have tried to save you.
Yeah. And then, of course, you've got the speech that he gave to Jason Todd in Under the Red Hood. If I kill him, where does it end?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is way more interesting. Because we as humans, like, yeah, we want that sort of stuff to happen. That is our idea of justice.
Think of how that would affect a society, though. Like, think of someone like Batman just flat out killing people. Like, how scared that would make everyone.
Yeah. Do you want injustice? Because that's how you get injustice.
Now, here's the thing. If you want to kill Zod, you don't make Superman do it intentionally. If you're gonna have to kill him. In the same way that he had no options with Doomsday. The scene in Man of Steel is not very well thought out. At all. Whereas, you think of the fight with Doomsday in Death of Superman, there was no other way to stop him. In Man of Steel, again, you have to keep in mind, he has Zod on his knees, on the ground, control of his neck, vulnerable position, and he knows how to fly. And he's got a slow-moving laser going towards people, and he doesn't think, maybe I should grab him tighter and fly? Bad writing. Now, Zod continues to try to kill people. The battle continues. Gets to the point where they're beating the hell out of one another. And then he doesn't mean to kill Zod, but Zod dies anyway from his wounds. Much more powerful statement. Plus, keeps with Superman wanting to preserve life. It's part of the reason I liked the death of Ra's al Ghul a lot better in Batman Begins. Is Bruce gives him an opportunity to leave. Because keep in mind, he's just as skilled as Bruce is. Gives him the opportunity to get out of there, but he's not going to help him. And then Ra's just doesn't want to live with his failure. Is the way that scene comes across. There are so many better ways to have those situations written, and they just didn't. It really, really comes across like they're just trying to be edgy. It's just, at the end of the day, the end of Man of Steel, well, not the end, but the conclusion of the Superman versus Zod fight, fucking lazy. And no, my opinion's not changing. And yes, I know John Byrne had Zod kill Superman. Weakest part of the John Byrne run. Alright. If you have not already, please go ahead and put your questions into the chat for the overflow.
Yep. Tag Brainbox.
Tag Brainbox in them. Or tag the channel. But, yeah. Hopefully that expanded on... And let me put it this way. There's a reason that the lead character in Inglewood does not kill people either. I legitimately think that
Even though he has every reason to, but he chooses not to.
Yeah. you will... Hoo boy. While they're putting their questions in, Hatman, I want to give them a little preview of what you read in... Because you haven't even told me yet what you thought of the first part of issue 2.
The thing is, though, I don't... All right, I'll ask you this. What is the relationship between the character that was just introduced there and your protagonist, Elijah?
You mean his father?
No.
Or
The
Shorty,
other one.
the cop.
Yeah, Shorty. Yeah,
they grew up together.
I don't know how much you want to. Yeah, they grew up together. But I mean, like moving forward, is there anything you can say about?
One thing that's going to differentiate the character of Elijah Wallace as a superhero in comparison to a lot of other street level superheroes is he will be very reliant on his circle of friends and is not someone who considers himself to be a one-man army. He realizes that to change things in Chicago, it's not just about one guy doing everything. He's got to have a support unit. He has to have people giving him this because he's not a genius. He is not Batman in that regard. He is a martial artist. He is the best martial artist in the world. Or so he thinks in this storyline. But that's it. Doesn't know that much about science. Doesn't know that much about engineering. A lot of his business moves, not made by him.
But he knows how to hit people.
And he's the best when it comes right down to it. And he continues to get better. You have to keep in mind, at the start of the story, he's only 30 years old. Still in his athletic prime when he retired from mixed martial arts.
There you go. Yeah, no, I like Shorty a lot already. So yeah, I will say that. One more thing. Also, next week, podcast start an hour later. So adjust your clocks appropriately. But why are they starting an hour later? You're getting a treat. I'm going to see Shazam 2 weeks early. And I will be giving you my thoughts on next week's entertainment podcast. So you will know how Shazam is 2 weeks before release. Get fucking hyped.
Indeed. All right, folks. We appreciate y'all stopping by. Before I go, once again, thank you to Servant of God. And who else donated this week? If my thing would load. Come on, computer. And Chaos Sonic 1 as well. Do appreciate it. Every little bit helps considering how crazy my financial situation has been lately. So, but considering doing a game night stream tomorrow, we'll have to see what happens because I do not work on Monday. So, I'm gonna go get food.
I need food too.
Yes. So, we will see you guys next week. Deus Volt.
Deus Volt.